Let's begin this compilation with the cutoff.
Wow. You're fucked up, aren't you?
Here we have Rachel the rhinoceros in the Nissan Sentra, who's going to be super speeding, nearly hitting me as he was lane changing in the process while cutting off a car.
Dumbass. Son of a bitch. Almost.
Rachel the rhino is in such in a hurry to catch that lemon scent that's trailing in front of her.
Look at this idiot. Last second over the door point.
We have Powell the platypus in the Cadillac Escalade, who's going to fail to plan ahead in this airport environment. Patrick the platypus's mindset is on digging a hole to sleep in for the night instead of giving time allowance when to exit when you're at the airport. Yes, I've featured this certain times in each compilation.
Door open. You don't do that. Come on.
Watch what will this Lexus RX driver will do to his front door after pulling over.
Don't do that.
It's common sense. Departure and arrival level roadway is a high traffic roadway. That means you really need to check your mirrors before opening your door, or your door will be sheared off. You wouldn't expect an ambulance to have non-functioning rear lights, don't you? Because their job is to save patients' life and treat patients' injury. Pedro the pangolin in the Ford Edge is going to run the red light turning left due to an effort trying to beat it. Reason for Pedro the pangolin running the red light is piggybacking behind another pangolin car. This is the most common type of road where cyclists are likely to die from getting hit by a car, the Strode. But this cyclist decides to test his fate by biking against high-speed running traffic. Cyclists biking on the road are obliged to follow the direction of flow of traffic of cars. Landon, Dolores, and the Toyota RAV4 are going to merge onto the expressway will drive at an unreasonably slow speed. His merging onto the highway is as slow as his slow down metabolism rate from eating seed oils. On your right, we will have two common swift bird motor boys who are going to fly past us at high rates of speed. Common swift birdie motor boys have driven so fast that do they even feel like they're feeling the ground movement on their driving? Center turn lanes are not merge lanes. They are lanes for either for you to wait in to merge safely or to turn left. But Wyatt the Wolf in the Chrysler Pacifica will defeat that purpose. Merging into this lane like the wolf entering a city as if nobody had existed but him.
Just ran a stop sign? Wow. Unbelievable. It's fucked up.
Would you drive a car with true blue headlights, everyone?
Car with true blue headlights. That's a weird color. Wow. Look at that old car. Look at that. Can't believe it. Camry needs to get his right headlight fixed soon. Driving without one headlight isn't safe, fully safe.
The Cuckoo in the Chevy Cruze is going to sit in the left lane camping despite after completing my pass, refusing to move out of the way.
Camping in the left lane. You should be camping in the park, not the lane. You could have stayed in the center lane jamming your kid, or pass speed and then get out. Now
retaliatory cutoff to give Christian the Cuckoo and the Chevy Cruze the hint to move back over to the center lane. He was just sitting there like a lazy cuckoo in a nest. Now I catch up to him, driving too slow for the third lane. I'm going at to 5 miles above speed limit. The Frygate bird in the Beamer 5 Series thinks a BMW emblem gives him special privilege to do his tough guy, cutting me and cutting another car off to fly ahead. Camera doesn't do it justice. The lane marking shows he did do a swoop in to cut both of us off before driving off. Two cars super speeding like two hares running next to each other will be coming up to us.
This fuckhead. Dodge Challenger. And another one of the Mercedes.
This is a long exit lane where drivers have plenty of time to exit off I-90 to head onto either I-290 or IL-53. But Carlos, the copperhead snake in the Toyota Highlander, will decide to pass me to get ahead and then cut into the local distributor lane at the last second.
A mile, keep left to merge onto Illinois Route 53 north toward northwest suburbs.
Carlos the Copper Snake bent the rules on planning to exit to change highways by rattling his snake tail. Pay attention to the bottom right where a straight tire almost took out a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Oh no! Fucking tire on the road.
I flash my hazards to warn cars behind me about a foreign object on the road, which is the tire. Enios the Elk in the Lexus ES will make a poor right turn on red timing because of going into my lane in the process.
Watch where you're going, bum.
Enio the Elk making a poor right turn on red into my lane is about as atrocious as the elk just hopping up from the rock down to the road. Gina the garden snail in the Cadillac CT series will not get up to speed, failing to reach even 5 under the speed limit after making a left-hand turn. Gina the garden snail's sleep schedule is still about sleeping in her shell instead of exiting the shell to get up to speed on the road. Elio, the electric eel in the Tesla Model X, can't wait to pass the painted median to enter the turn pocket. He drove over the yellow painted median to charge up his electrical capabilities. And look where he is right now. He got nowhere. Here we have Bradley, the Belgian Malinois in the Jump Out Boys CPD is going to drive in the middle of the road without lights and sirens, all because the emblem gives him special privileges to be above the law. Not really having that police dog mindset after all, he should know better not to break laws unless if they're lights and sirens in an emergency. Here we have a road crew guy who's going to take his chance to see if he's going to beat an oncoming car by running across.
Oh my god. Almost got hit.
What?
The guy, he almost got hit.
He's more concerned about laying road markings like laying dam beaver equipment rather than his personal safety on traffic. This Honda Pilot, who thinks that he can maneuver his car like an eastern brown snake into this crawl space-like space between the pickup and the bus. Just can't wait to return to his Pine Barrens. Let's introduce Taylor, the Topi Antelope in the Honda Civic Coupe, who is going to tailgate me, despite there is nowhere for her to get past traffic. This red landscaper dump truck is aggressive with the tailgating too, to the Honda Civic. That's tailgating me. Let's not forget that this Toyota Highlander merged onto the expressway at a snail's pace, even choosing to brake instead of accelerate. That's the only reason for Alejandro the Axolotti and the landscaper dump truck to back off. Now he returns to tailgating the Honda Civic Coupe, the one that was tailgating me earlier. Alejandro the Axolotti is not done with the tailgating yet. As we exit off the expressway onto Westlake Avenue, now he'll tailgate the Cadillac CTS Coupe. His intermittent tailgating is driving like to him releasing air and huffing in air, what the Axolotti does. We have another tailgater, an Axolotti driver in the Mercedes E300. Hard to see, but you can see how little space he's leaving between in the car in front. This tailgating is not intermittent, so it means no huffing and air and no puffing out air. What you'll be seeing on the back is Cassie the Crab in the white Toyota RAV4 who will blindly lane change into a BMW 3 Series. Her line lane change was about as dim-witted as fighting over a hole to other craps. Here comes Lucas the llama in the Dodge Ram 1500 that was tailgating the Toyota RAV4 that blindly lane changed. Now he will tailgate me, despite me going on the right lane at the speed limit to a few miles above. This is the importance of having your signal on when you want to park. Otherwise, there will be drivers that will block the parking space, not knowing if you want the parking space or not. Like this guy forgot the signal until I stopped. We have this salamander driver in this Jeep SUV that does not care that tailgating in wet weather is dangerous due to the increased risk of hydroplaning. You know, guys, what the intersection of Waukegan Road and Deer Path Road is notorious for? Left turners that can't stay on their side of the road, instead that cut the corner to the other side and turn left. It's even easier than right turns. I don't know how they can screw this up. Like that Grasshopper GMC Yukon. Oh, it's a big SUV. Yeah, but left turners are wider than right turns. Had Marsh the Mule in the DHL Ford Transit double lane switch later than what's shown in the video, he would have cut off that Cadillac CT4. Nope, it's not a cut off. That's just potluck. Well, you can still have his mule package gift. Warner the wild boar in the BMW 8 Series Coupe to your left will tailgate my brother. He's on the right lane, the second right lane. He then backs off, cause I did taught my brother to tap the brakes, probably. The wild boar figured that he contains sasium and that he could spread to other boars. Clip is cut short at the end, but you can clearly see a Ford F-150 cut off the GC Lease Inc. semi with no signal. Even on the camera, it does look clean. At the upcoming exit, we now have Woody the wild boar on the CRV is going to tailgate the Lexus GX on the off-ramp, which that is the time you need to accelerate. That also increases the dangers of tailgating. the wild boar will now fail the dual turn. This tailgating and failing the dual turn has some impairment from this cesium radiation. We will soon see Ian the eating multi-cat in the Honda CR-V, who's just going to be sitting in the middle of the road, waiting until the Porsche Cayenne, the mouse, will come up close to him.
Oh my god.
This waiting to cut off game is sound as stupid as waiting for the mouse for the cat to eat.
Oh no, oh my god, that scumbag. Frenchie Grand Cherokee. Scumbag. Gosh. What's wrong with that? Without license plate. And what's the point of cheating on the merge lane?
There's always kind drivers on the road, not a bad driver, just a kind driver informing about an upcoming accident ahead.
Huh? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
It's the cool dude in the GMC Denali pickup truck that's politely informing us one. That would be Mr. Humble Guy, not Mr. Tough Guy, Mr. Humble Guy. Leo the leatherback seat turtle in the GMC Sierra pickup truck will do a last-minute dive in front of a bus to exit off US 41. Instead of planning ahead of time, Leo the leatherback sea turtle wants to show a deep dive to everybody.
Come on.
Sunset is at 4:34 in Chicago on this day, and it's 5 o'clock, which is less than 30 minutes, but it's common sense. Turn on the headlights when it gets too dark out because of cloud cover like this one.
This is already too dark to not have your headlights on.
As to the information about daytime running lights are not to be used as headlights. They're just meant for greater visibility during the daytime. We have Hannah the hamster in the Kia Optima who doesn't have attention to the light and where to turn or go straight.
Come on. Yeah. Hey, fuck attention, man. Let's do it.
The honk by the Jeep Wagoner is for sitting at the green light. Watch what will Hannah the hamster will do next.
Oh no. Just to make that list again. Shit.
Oh yes, Hannah the hamster couldn't pay attention to lights and turn pockets for a few seconds. Oscar the Ovis in the BMW X3 will cut the corner as I was approaching the stop sign, therefore nearly ramming into me in a low-speed collision. His turning is to ask for a chest bump, a car version of it. No, let's not do chest bump in a car. This is the pickup truck brand, in my opinion, I expect the least to be tailgating up on my ass. The Toyota Tacoma. Now here's the irony of the pickup truck driving style. We have a GMC Sierra who is bigger, is more of like the tough guy type. And we have a Toyota Tacoma where he's compact and more of the nerd type. But watch which pickup truck is going to do the tailgating.
Look at that goddamn Toyota Tacoma. He's tailgating. GMC Sierra, though he's smaller than him. Now he's tailgating another pickup truck. Look at him. He's not going to get his ass anywhere.
At least he picked a pickup truck to tailgate that is his own size. Now a bad driver that triggered a road rage. It begins with William the Wolf in the Dodge Charger, who is going to switch multi-lanes at once, cutting off a Mazda 6 in the process, giving chase by the Mazda 6.
Oh, look at that dumb Dodge Charger. Look at him. Look at his scum. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Looks like that guy's going after him. That guy's pissed off. My God, look at this. He's coming after him. Charger. Alright.
Besides the Pacifica cutting me off, this pursuit between two black sedans similar to two pursuits between two wolves.
Thank you.
Just the Nissan Rogue also backed into a parking space in a goofy way by going through the stop sign intersection. This later found out that the Honda Accord was going to wait in the drop-off zone. Yeah, he didn't signal. Well, I must have been dilly-dallying for some time. This GRM4 Transit thinks he can preserve his right-of-way by turning left already as the yellow arrow expires. It's cutting the corner because he turned before he crossed the limit line. Just to like piggyback a red car. Kevin the Kangaroo in the Tesla Model X will attempt to try and turn while I'm coming without cutting me off.
Nice try.
Miscalculated big time. That means this was about as miscalculated as the kangaroo jumping in front of a road train. Here we have this brown pickup truck towards the left. He was going to drive like on the highway in a snake zigzag pattern, zigzagging through lanes. He's spending more time drawing zigzag patterns on the expressway than planning ahead and being considerate of merging traffic. here is Rowie the Rhino in the Volvo XC90 who's going to do something really stupid. He's going to drive on the wrong side of the road to cheat ahead of the traffic jam. Putting the other people at risk as it's rush hour as the road is busy. No, just because you drive a Volvo that's supposed to be like the top safest car in the world, built like a tank, doesn't mean you will take your safety for granted as how you are as a rhinoceros. Here we have a woman in a Hyundai sedan that's going to tailgate my brother for miles, despite the current traffic conditions where he's driving at a reasonable speed. If there's hundreds of feet of room to your side after you pass a car and a car is coming at you, just move over and let them finish, and then you can move back over to continue.
God! What the hell?
not a real cutoff. If there's a car like right there and you're in the dual turn lane, just stay in your dual turn lane. There's plenty of room in front of the deer path inn. I don't understand why the minivan chooses to be a feral hog, hogging the road, like invading a farm, instead of pulling into the drop-off zone. Deer path inn has it. Cargo van driver forgets to dim his high beams despite cars in front and in a well-lit road. Let me show you what not to do when driving in the airport. We will have Frankie the Fur Seal in the Ford Fusion, who will appear, looks like, stopped in the middle of the departures row with his hazards on, and then will perform a maneuver that's really idiotic. He's going to dive across lanes into the forbidden opening into the arrivals road, nearly hitting a crossover in the process.
Not supposed to enter there.
This maneuver was about as idiotic as diving into shallow water, nearly hitting your head in the pool floor. Here is the Ford Fusion to your right. Let's conclude this compilation with Shelly the Sneeze Snake in the Mercedes C-Class, who is going to cut across all the lanes from merge to the passing lane. What attracted Shelly the Sea Snake in the Mercedes C-Class to do this multi-lane lane switch is founding a interesting object on a lane up ahead. This concludes for this video. Click on the bell, like, comment, subscribe for more thrilling content to come up. Thank you for watching this clip. Goodbye.